Carboni is joining us right now. We got to talk about the Panthers win. Obviously, you were there, saw it live, and it just feels good to be playing, as Dave Canales said yesterday, meaningful football at the end of December. It's been a while since we could say that, huh?
Hey, Colin. Yeah, it has, especially in my time here. I got here in 2016, so unfortunately for me, right after the Super Bowl run, have seen one playoff season in that time span, and don't feel for me, feel for the fan base who have gone that long without sustained success or any success at all in Carolina. And I think if you were at Bank of America Stadium yesterday, or you could just watch it on TV, you could hear the life literally breathing back into that building. It was a big crowd, even though it wasn't for the division, which it could have been if not for that disappointing loss the week before in New Orleans. There was still a lot to play for. It's December, it's right before Christmas, and Panthers fans have hope, as Dave Canales said after the game. And again, when they needed it, when their backs were up against the wall, when a loss would have basically handed the division to the Bucs, without doing so officially, I think it was like a 95% chance they would have had if they had won that game. The Panthers stepped up and they delivered, and they made the crucial plays during the crucial portions of the game. And it's got to be one of the biggest wins at Bank of America Stadium that I've seen and that Panthers fans have seen in the better part of the last decade.
Man, what a game and what a ride it's been. I mean, more than 10 game-winning drives. I think it's 12. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but Bryce Young really is playing at a high level, and it was interesting to hear from the head coach again talking about how they've been playing playoff games literally all year because of the position that they kind of put themselves, in at the beginning of the year. This game is a big one. The Seahawks come to town. They're doing really well. Obviously, one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the NFL. It's just play well with them, and usually the Panthers have been playing up to their competition, so bodes well for them this weekend. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you're exactly right on the number. That is now 12 game-winning drives for Bryce Young before the age of 25. He's still just 24 years old. That is second all-time behind just Justin Herbert, who has 13. So Bryce could very well pass him this year. It just seems like every time Bryce Young is in a position to win a game, it's in comeback fashion. Some of that comes from being behind in a lot of games early in his career, but he's got the wherewithal and the moxie and the confidence in those moments to pull it off, and they've got the trust in him to do so. I mean, I know it was won on a field goal by rookie Ryan Fitzgerald yesterday, but Bryce Young's beautiful deep ball to Jalen Coker put him in that position, and he made several other key throws. End of the half to Tyrone McMillan with 7 seconds left to retake the lead was a crucial and pivotal play in that game. So, yeah, listen, we're all talking playoffs, which is great this time of year. We don't get to do that too often in any meaningful way surrounding the Carolina Panthers. There's a quick path and a clear path. The clear path to the playoffs is in 2 weeks to go down to Tampa Bay and beat the Bucs one more time. That will be a win and in situation if it gets to that point. The quick path is a little messier math, but pretty simple to follow, and it hinges on next week. If Carolina beats the heavily favored Seahawks at home and Tampa Bay goes down and loses to Miami, and the Bucs are favored over the Dolphins, if that situation happens, a Panthers win next week paired with a Bucs loss, and they play at the exact same time at 1 o'clock, the Panthers will wrap the division title and a playoff spot at home at Bank of America Stadium, which would be incredible. At this point, Panthers fans aren't getting greedy. They're happy to wait 2 weeks and do it down in Tampa. But, man, that would be a really cool scenario. And, listen, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Seattle walks in here, like you said, the class of the NFC, much like the LA Rams did several weeks ago. Carolina knocked them down. The Bucs, although they are favored against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins will likely be starting rookie Quinn Ewers again over Tua Tagovailoa. I watched the Bucs walk off that field yesterday, Colin, and I know what a broken team looks like, unfortunately, from covering the Panthers for the last 8 or 9 seasons. That's a broken team right now. They've now lost, I think, 6 of 7, something like, I want to say 7 of 9. They cannot figure out how to get it done, even as they get their key pieces back offensively. Their coach is sliding towards an ouster at the end of the season. I think at this point, even if they do sneak into the playoffs, it's made Baker Mayfield's kind of time there or window there maybe a little tighter depending on how the rest of the way goes for him. So they're a team that just, they look demoralized leaving Bank of America Stadium yesterday, and I think that factors in as well. I mean, I've seen teams, it's snowballing on them right now. Meanwhile, the Panthers are trending the opposite direction. They are trending up, but the problem is the results have been up and down every single week, as we know. So by that format, they're due for a loss, but also by that formula, they're due for a win when it matters most in Week 18.
No doubt. And we've talked about this before. Pretty interesting that we've got two quarterbacks that used to play here in Carolina that we have to get through to get into the playoffs. We got Darnold, and then obviously we've got Mayfield. So, it is interesting that we're talking about those two guys again, who have done well where they're at, obviously, with the exception of the Buccaneers this year. What would you say to, just Bryce Young's just resilience over the past couple of years? Because just, we've seen the ups and downs, and it seems like, even head coach Canales has stayed pretty level-headed with his quarterback, right? He had to bench him last year. Seemed like it was for the good of both the team and his maturity. Talking about that, what would you say are some keys for him going into this Sunday's game?
Well, just speaking about that relationship, it's been an interesting one. It's been, an up and down run. Obviously started down and then went up. And then obviously Bryce didn't have a good start to this season again. But walking off the field yesterday, Dave Canales, he greets every single player as they walk into the tunnel, win or lose. He does it every single game. That's part of his consistency. Well, Bryce Young was being interviewed by the network for a very long time at midfield after the game yesterday. All the players on either side had cleared the field. But Dave waited patiently, and when Bryce got to him, they had a really warm and I thought significant embrace, and then Bryce kind of played to the crowd a little bit as he trotted off the field victorious. And it's just such a far cry from where things were after 2 weeks into their working relationship last season. And here we are again at the end of a year, and Bryce Young is, when it matters most, turning it up. And that's kind of who he is, like every game, when it matters most. 7 seconds at the end of the first half yesterday. Then that final game-winning offensive drive to put Ryan Fitzgerald in position for the winning field goal. And you also look at it, it's the last 3 weeks, there's 2 wins and 1 loss, but even in the loss, he's played turnover-free football in those 3 games. And that is just massive for the Panthers, that they can be +1 at least in that turnover margin like they were yesterday. That gives anybody a good chance to win. So he's playing clean football at a really crucial time of year. And the contractual situation with Bryce is as follows. He's in his 3rd year. He's a rookie first-round pick, so you get 4 years and a club option for the 5th year. So he's under contract with the Panthers next year, 2026, no doubt. The question is, will they pick up that club option for his 2027 season, which would be basically picking up a 1-year deal, and the deadline for that is around draft time this coming spring. I think that is a given at this point. It'll be a relatively affordable contract for a starting caliber NFL quarterback in this league. The question going forward is, if Bryce Young continues this pace this year, guides the team to a home playoff game and a division championship, and then look out, wins the playoff game, is GM Dan Morgan going to be apt to look at an extension and get ahead of that big-time quarterback money and sign Bryce Young long-term? Because you mentioned those other names. Baker Mayfield went elsewhere, had success. Sam Darnold's gone 2 other places, had success. Carolina spent 5 or 6 years before drafting Bryce Young spinning that quarterback carousel. That is not a place they want to be. And they don't want to see Bryce Young go somewhere else and have that success, because they know he's capable of it, because those highs and the highs and lows are so high, and he's so effective in some of those moments that there's something there. So it's a great time for him to be turning it back up. I think going into the next season, the question for the entire team will be having a good start this time. But they're finishing well again.
Last thing, man, I got to give some love to these rookies. I mean, first of all, GM Dan Morgan pulled together quite the defense. I mean, they are staunch late December right now. Obviously there was this talk about Lathan Ransom and giving up a play last week. But, I mean, really redeemed himself this week. Nick Scorton looks amazing. And then, T-Mac is billed just like everybody thought he would be. I mean, these guys are really playing well for first-year guys. What would your comments be in terms of how they're adding to not only the offense but the defensive side as well?
That's been a big part of this entire run, Colin. That's a great point. And I'll start with the first-round pick, Tetairoa McMillan. I mean, I think for sure he's now got the edge on Emeka Egbuka of the Bucs for Rookie of the Year, and that's flipped from the beginning of the season, just like everything else with Carolina and Tampa are. And by the way, with Con Knippel in the running for NBA Rookie of the Year, no city has had NBA and NFL Rookie of the Year in the same season since 1967. So I know Cooper Flagg's going to have something to say about that.
Yeah.
But I think Tetairoa McMillan is the odds-on favorite at this point for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Not a fine. Everybody knew McMillan was good. Nobody thought the Panthers would pick him. What a move by Dan Morgan. Then you go in the second and third rounds and you pick up 2 all-SEC edge rushers led by Nick Scorton from Texas A&M. And the guy, I think, was 20 years old when he entered the locker room. I think he's 21 now. But he is a potential cornerstone piece for this defense for years to come. He plays beyond his years. He leads beyond his years. He had big moments in yesterday's game. He brought a lot of energy to the defense as well as, instinctual, intelligent play and impactful play as well. Princely Umanmielen has had his moments this year. And then we talk about the rookie class. He's undrafted, but Ryan Fitzgerald, the rookie out of Florida State, he's had 3 walk-off game winners this year in walk-off fashion, and then was 3 for 3 yesterday, a couple of 48-yarders, including one to win the game. And you never really thought about it when you trotted him out there. You know he's a pretty sure thing from those distances and even beyond this season. He's had way more good moments and good kicks than bad ones this year, and he's won them games, including yesterday. So it's about time this organization pulled together a rookie class like this that is not only beneficial for the future, but is helping you right now potentially make the playoffs. And I'll also add this, going back to McMillan, the receiving core in general is all first or second year players. Hunter Renfrow, great training camp story, hasn't played in a long time. David Moore had his moments last year, hasn't played in a long time. This is a lot of first and second year guys like Jalen Coker, and that was a big reason they were willing to part ways with Adam Thielen, who's now on his second team since he joined Carolina. So to wrap it up, the rookies have had a really big part in this year, in addition to having a lot of promise and potential for years to come.
Right on. All right, Nick. I know you got a 3-month-old there with you, so we'll let you go.